Hello, everyone. Let's go to Mark chapter 8. I want to read a passage, so let's start at verse 31. And he began to teach them, who was the one teaching Jesus Christ, and he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected of the elders, and of the chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. Verse 32. And he spake that saying openly. And Peter took him and began to rebuke him. Let's look up the word rebuke. Express sharp disapproval or criticism of someone because of their behavior or actions. So in verse 31, Jesus was telling them what he will have to go through. In verse 32, for whatever reason, Peter rebuked him. I was not there back then, so I don't really know what was on Peter's mind, but I assume Peter meant well. I believe Peter did not want Jesus Christ to go through what he said that he was going to go through. But let's go to verse 33. Verse 33. But when he had turned about and looked on his disciples, he rebuked Peter. So Peter rebuked Jesus, then Jesus rebuked him. Get thee behind me, Satan. Why is Jesus saying this? He is speaking to Peter, right? Why did he say, get thee behind me, Satan? Okay. For thou savorest not the things that be of God, but the things that be of men. In essence, Jesus was telling Peter, be quiet. You don't know what you are talking about. In my own words, of course. But he said, get thee behind me, Satan. Let me ask you a question. Is it possible Satan influenced Peter to rebuke Jesus Christ? Isn't it possible? I think so. So let me ask you this. Is it possible that demons can influence people? And I believe we can say yes to that. A reference of something that happened in the Old Testament came to my mind, but I am not going to go deep into that. Something in reference to a lying spirit and prophets, but I am not going to go real deep into that. False prophets, I mean, not godly prophets, false prophets. Imagine this. You are praying for something, believing that your prayers have already been answered, even though you don't have it, even though you can't see it, even though you can't touch it per se. So you are using faith. Out of nowhere, a person comes and begin to tell you, hey, you should do this. You should do that. Maybe that person is saying those things. Maybe they mean it in a good way. Maybe they mean well. Maybe they don't know what you are praying for. Can it be that a demon is using that person to get you to stop believing in what you are praying for? What you may say to me, Kevin, I think that is coincidental. I don't think nothing like that can happen. I don't believe demons can do this and do that. Well, for one, you may need to read the Bible more. I believe demons can influence people. I believe demons can send people down your path. I believe the timing of when it happens is so good that it can't be coincidental. Think about the past. Think about the things you have been praying for, had been praying for back in the past. Did you stop believing in what you have prayed for because of someone's opinion? Maybe someone rebuked you and told you, hey, what you are praying for is impossible. What you are praying for, God is not going to do it. Did something like this happen to you? Did someone discourage you from believing in what you were praying for? Please think about this. Who says you can't get what you are praying for? If what you are praying for is not sinful, if you are trying to be obedient to God, if you are not being greedy in what you are praying for, why wouldn't God answer your prayer? Is it because your pastor told you no? Is it because your bishop told you no? Is it because of your no good friend? Did your no good friend tell you it is not going to happen? Did your no good friend explain to you their experiences of how they failed, and because they have failed, you are going to fail? Is it because of your no good friend? In this case here, you need to ignore your no good friend. It doesn't matter how impossible it seems. It doesn't matter people don't have faith in you. Keep on believing in what you are praying for. Just because your no good friend doesn't have faith in you for what you are praying for, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Maybe you are looking for another human to support you for what you are praying for, and there may not be none. Let God be your rod. Let God prop you up. Just because another human doesn't agree with you doesn't mean you are wrong. You may need to stay away from those no good friends trying to lower your faith to theirs, or maybe trying to take it away. They may not mean any harm by it, but all in all, it is going to harm you. Be strong. You may tell me that you cry a lot about the things you pray for. That is okay. When I say be strong, it doesn't mean that you can't cry. When I say be strong, what I mean by that, continue on that path even if people choose to not support you. Continue on that path even though you don't receive encouragement from people. Continue on that path even though you encounter obstacles. Stay strong. Be firm. Keep your head up. Stay focused. Keep on believing. Don't give up. Amen. Let me stop here. May God bless us.